Oh man, it's about time for a new chair, cuz. This chair's starting to hurt my ass, cuz. Dr. Carter, fuck the harder. Oh shit. What's cracking? Hey. All my homies bald nigga. And guess what? I'm the barber. Hold up. We gotta do a sound check real quick. It's on. It's on. On and then on and on and on and on, like hot butter on some what? Some popcorn. I'm lit. Man, I hope this shit ain't too loud, cuz it might be a little bit loud. Wonder if that's too loud. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Sorry I'm a bit distracted. Hey, it's the Murked Jackson Show. I'm your host, Murked Jackson. Yo, man, even though it's where's the thing? Even though it's you know, Thanksgiving or whatever the fuck it's called, I'm still doing a show tonight. So we're lit, man. It is live. Sorry, I'm waiting to hear back about this sound. This is important because I don't want it to be playing too loud, but man, we don't have a lot to talk about tonight, man. I kind of just been chilling, man. Today's been one of those days where it's just Thursday to me. So I had the day off, did laundry, was productive, and I've just been watching football all day. So one thing I am going to talk about, we're going to talk some trash about the Dallas Cowboys for sure. Because I'm lit today, because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, die hard, lifelong, all of that. And we went in there and we stomped that ass today. So it's a good day, man. So I'm going to talk about that. And we got some other little topics that's on the sheet, but nothing too crazy. So we're gonna let the song play for a little bit and then try to get into it. Man, hurry up and tell me about the sound, man. Jeez, you're like trying to get some feedback from somebody and they taking forever. Apparently it was too loud. Anyway, man, we're just waiting. Gotta wait to make the show start. Now we're waiting to get more feedback. I wish somebody had quicker fingers when they text. I'm kind of blasting this person because they just take it too long. But I'm sure it's because they're just chilling, halfway in and out of a food coma. I totally get it. I don't know. It is what it is, man. Everybody's busy today. I've just been kicking it solo, man. That's what my plan was, to have a solo Thanksgiving. And I did that. I do that pretty often. I would say, when I'm 33 years old, so I would say probably about 65% of those years, I've spent the time by myself and found a way to keep myself entertained, develop my traditions, and just go from there. It's been lit, so I have no complaints, man. I get it. People really like to be with their families. I won't say that I wouldn't mind being with my family. I love my family, but my family's scattered all throughout the U.S. And I don't know, man. We're just not really those types of people that are like coordinating plans month in advance to try to link up and all that type of stuff. We just are not those people. So, but my day has been lit. I don't know what my family has been doing. I did talk to my sister today, but other than that, and I talked to my cousin. But she was literally just telling me she was at work, and then I was talking shit to my other cousin because she's a Dallas Cowboys fan. But that's about the extent of it. I'm not a, happy Thanksgiving type of guy. I don't do all that. I don't reach out to people and send those types of text messages. People were hitting me with that today, which I appreciate y'all for reaching out. Thank you for thinking of me. I definitely hope that you had a great holiday. But if you were expecting me to send you a happy Thanksgiving text, no, it's not gonna happen. All right, man. Got the sound on fixed. It's all working. Let's intro the show. Hey, hold up. Hey, I just had to cut it off, man. I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. You are now tuned in to the Murked Jackson Show. I am your host, Murked Jackson. It's lit. It's, what day is it? It's November 28th, right? Isn't that the day? Yeah, November 28th, man. It's Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, or, steal stuff from Natives Day, if that's what y'all want to call it. We lit, man, but I just want to intro the show. I'm going to crank the music back up, and then we're going to get back into it, man. Thank you for tuning in. So, we intro the show, and then we just let them have it, man. Like I said, we don't got a lot going on today. They're going to be listening to a lot of music tonight. I'm going to talk a lot as usual, but they will listen to a lot of music. And I'm going to talk about what I've done today. People are going to be like, fam, this is what you did the whole day? I'm like, yeah, you damn right. And I had a good ass time, man. I'm glad that I spent this time by myself reflecting and living my best life. So it's lit, man. That's all I got to say about it. So we're going to they listen to, we had Jeremiah featuring J. Cole Plains. That started the show. And then right now they're listening to 50 Cent Wanksta. That's a classic record. I got to start to remember to actually plug the records that are played. Because that's one thing I don't do is when y'all are watching this, I don't be saying shit about the songs. And I probably should, because I think if people knew, if they only watched this, if they knew the type of songs that I played, they probably would actually listen in live more. Nah, I don't fucking know. Maybe they would. Maybe they hate this shit. Even if they hate it, I love it. I don't even know my name no more. They calling me handsome. I stole that from Get Rich or Die Trying. I did not make that up. But I only did that because, like I said, 50 Cent Wanksta is playing, so it's lit. Didn't have to adjust it when you came on, but I did adjust it. I don't know what they're talking about. I always turn the shit down. Anyway, it really doesn't matter. We got about 45 seconds, man, but I hope everybody's had a good holiday. I think it's important that you get this time, spend it with your family, with your loved ones, friends, whoever, and enjoy the company of the people that you hold in high regard or that you at least just value. So I hope everybody was, afforded that opportunity. For those of you that weren't, my heart goes out to you. I do understand how that feels, and, hopefully you made the most of your day, and hopefully it hasn't been as hard as anticipated. We're about to get into the music, man. Well, to the show. I'm about to turn this next song off after it plays a little bit, and then I'm going to get into some of the music I've been listening to today. Hey, your boy is back. Yo, I'm gonna have to restart that 2 Chainz featuring Mike Posner when the music comes back on. But hey, man, it's lit. It's Thursday, November 28th. It's Thanksgiving or Turkey Day or, whatever people call it. But, if you're taking time to listen to the show, I appreciate you tuning in. A lot of people thought I was not planning to have a show tonight, which I don't know why they thought that. I never said that. Today is just a Thursday to me. Excuse me. And that's mainly because I'm not like a holiday guy. I don't get super hyped up about the holidays and like, oh my God, what are we doing? It's Thanksgiving. What are we doing? No, I don't care nothing about that. Plates of food, yeah, I'm cool with that. But even then, I got so caught up watching the football game that to the places that, offered me a plate, I didn't even go. And I'm going to tell you, it's been an interesting afternoon. I had several edibles today because that was what my plan was. I went and I hooped. I lit the court up a little bit, not as much as I'd like to, but enough to get some W's today, which has not been happening often. Basketball is a team sport. Yes, I'm deflecting blame from me. I'm going to blame it on the niggas that I play with because I'm nice. But sometimes it's my fault. But I went and I hooped and then, got done, got dressed. I still was productive because, again, it's just a Thursday. Did my laundry. It was lit. Enjoyed my edibles. And then I'm on Hulu Live. Shout out to Hulu Live. Hulu has live sports. I noticed that the game is on. The Buffalo Bills squad versus them sorry-ass Dallas Cowboys. Now, I want you to understand. I lived a good portion of my life in Austin, Texas. The place that I lived in Florida is also home to Emmitt Smith. Even though my dad is from Buffalo lifelong, the Buffalo Bills and the Cowboys were always my team. Now, the reason the Cowboys are no longer my team and have not been my team for the better part of, I can't even put the number on it. However old I was in third grade, since about the third grade, the shit was ruined. And the reason being was that one time I went to an event where you can meet Emmitt Smith, right? Thought this was going to be the greatest day of my life, man. He's such a cool running back. He's on, Little Giants, which was one of my favorite movies, like, plays in Texas. I consider myself to be someone from Texas. This shit is lit, right? And this is crazy. I come from a place where Derrick Brooks is from there, Roy Jones is from there, Reggie Evans is from there. I mean, some of these people you probably don't know, but if you know football, you know some basketball names. These people play professional sports. Jason McKee, and then obviously now as we get older, you can say like my brother, Doug Baldwin, he's from there, whatever. We have some NFL people. Emmitt Smith is probably the best one, right? Meeting Emmitt was going to be a dream come true. Tell me why my man told me that if I wanted an autograph, I had to pay $50. I was not cool with that, man. One, I was in the third grade and I had no damn money. Two, fam, probably back then I was probably barely counting to 50. I ain't gonna lie to you. A little bit slow. But the fact that you as a grown-ass man, you wanted to ask some little kids for money just for some autographs, fam, we were just looking to talk to our heroes. That's it. In those moments when we're playing backyard football, we're trying to be you. I even had a little Dallas Cowboy football that I used to play with in the neighborhood, and we'll throw it around, and I thought I was going to be a superstar. I had Buffalo Bills stuff, Dallas Cowboys stuff, the whole shebang. Even though they played against each other in the Super Bowl, I didn't care about that because I love football. I love the teams. Now, after that autograph fiasco, I've decided, because you know what? For me, I've been making my own decisions, lower levels, because it starts at very low levels when you're a kid. But I've made some pretty significant decisions for myself in my life, even at an early age. So in that moment, I was like, now I'm thinking, I'm using my voice and my tone, all that now. I'm putting it into my third grade self, and I'm going to basically give you what my response was to this situation and what I was thinking in my head. I was very disappointed in those moments. So one, I was mad. So using my lingo and my voice in my head, I was like, this nigga's out of his fucking mind. And now I'm upset. Because one, I don't got no damn money. And two, fuck the Dallas Cowboys. So ever since then, it's been F the Cowboys. I don't really like the fans either. Now, I have a lot of friends who are Dallas Cowboy fans. And they like to talk a lot of shit to me because they beat us in the Super Bowls. And then ever since then, Buffalo's been very shitty. We've had a lot of years where we've been shitty. But Dallas is really shitty too. But their fans act like because the media has given them the title of America's team, that they think they are America's fans when they're really just America's assholes. Not my friends though. My friends are cool. My friends are cool. My cousin is cool. My barber is cool. Like, they're Cowboys fans. I get it. So it's not disrespect to y'all. But if I'm being honest, nothing felt better than watching my team come to your building today and whoop y'all's asses. And then I noticed the internet was very quiet. My Facebook was very quiet. My IG, very quiet. And I'm thinking to myself, I usually see updates from these people. And I hadn't heard from any of them even in the beginning of the day. So I think they already had a sense that the shit was not going to be in their favor this afternoon. I think y'all already knew you were going to get your asses whooped. So you weren't talking, you weren't celebrating, it wasn't nothing. So now what's going to happen? You guys have lost to a team that on paper, you're probably supposed to beat us because we're the Buffalo Bills. We're terrible, right? You're supposed to win those games. Now you guys are back to, losing habits. There was already talk this whole week about your coach potentially being fired. Your owner/general manager is upset. Like, this is such a great day. And I know that when the week starts, they're going to go into First Take and all those sports shows and people like Stephen A., they're going to have a blast. And I'm going to love it because it's going to be one of those times where my team is not going to be talked about as if we are complete garbage, right? Right now, my college team, which is the Texas Longhorns, like even there's some people on TV who literally call the team trash. And it's hard. You can't even argue with it because they're trash. But Buffalo's 9-3, baby. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself. And I'm also a realist. I don't think we're going to win or go to the Super Bowl. But we now have locked in our 4th winning season in 20 years. Feels great. Yes, you heard it. That's a very low percentage of winning seasons. It's horrible. 4 winning seasons in 20 years. It's bad. But we whooped America's team in their building. And I'm happy because all my little Cowboy friends are all hella sad. So I'm sorry for you and your families. It's a hard day for y'all. You went in today thinking we're going to have Thanksgiving. We're going to have a good meal. You know, we're America's team. Jesus loves us. We should get the W. But football gods had other plans. They wanted y'all to choke on your turkey today, which is probably what happened to some of you. Watching your quarterback who's demanding $40 million, watching him stink the whole damn building up, hearing the crowd boo the team. I love that. I loved it. Y'all are getting booed at home on national television on Thanksgiving. You're one of the few teams that literally plays every single year on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is like your thing. Who's on the schedule for Thanksgiving football? Well, it's the Dallas Cowboys versus somebody. And they usually give y'all a whack-ass game like Detroit or Washington or somebody that you can go in and whoop that ass and, you know, get the easy win and get to eat turkey legs because it's going to be Troy Aikman talking and all these people. And they want to make sure that, you know, y'all, the whole entire Dallas Cowboys history and legacy is always represented. And then today, again, we stomped that ass. So, shout out to all my Bills fans. There are very few of you in Washington. Shout out to my cousin for being a Cowboys fan who literally grew up in Buffalo. And she's also a Patriots fan. Carolyn, I don't understand. Are you good? Like, do you need something? I love knowing that right now you probably a little bit sad. Let me stop because she probably will cut me. But yeah, it felt good to get that W, watch that ass whooping, and get to, you know, see how upset everybody was. So I think that's going to be the end of my football talk. That just, you know, it's just such a good feeling, man. Today's a good day. You know what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful for the Buffalo Bills. I never thought I'd ever say that because for so many years, you guys have just wronged me. But we got new owners in the last couple of years and we got a new coach. Things have really started to change. And I really think they're on the right track. We just got to maintain the momentum, continue to develop personnel and, you know, improve players and get players better. It might be all right, man. I actually got a winning record. I like it. I like it. So if your team played today, I hope your team did well. I hope that's put you in a good mood. Like I said, I know some of my Cowboy friends are not in a good mood at all. And the funniest part is that I just don't give a shit. So, yeah, man, it's the Memecle Jackson Show. We are lit. It is November 28th. It's Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, Steal Stuff from Natives Day. That's how I've been referring to it, man, because I honestly think, like, I know most people at this point in our history are not celebrating, they're not celebrating, like, pilgrims and all of that shit. But knowing what it kind of represents for certain types of people, I think it's important that we still say, fuck Thanksgiving. Excuse my language. But I think that's important because I don't for 1 second want anybody to think that we are in some way celebrating people for committing mass genocide, you know, and thievery. If y'all gonna be mad about people stealing shit now, you gotta be mad about them stealing shit back then. Be consistent. Y'all know that it's trash. And y'all know who I'm talking about. They came over here and they're the finesse kings. They stole everything. They convinced these people that they was going to be cool. and then they were not. Does it sound like anything's changed? I mean, to some degree, obviously, a lot of stuff has changed, obviously. But the one thing that I really don't like, I hate that there's still people today that won't own it. They won't be like, yeah, you know what, my ancestors did that, and fuck them. That's what we want from y'all. Stop trying to make all these other excuses and justify. Just be like, look, man, the people that came before us screwed this shit up, and we want to try to find a way to make it right. Make people feel a little more comfortable and make them feel like you're not celebrating the genocide part. And like I said, I don't think there are people who are outright being like, yes, it's November, and now we can celebrate how the people who came before us came in and they kicked ass, brother, and they took names. And we took land, and we took recipes, and we didn't use them shits. Y'all spent all your time fighting and stealing people's spices. Don't even use them. It's a goddamn shame. You know what I'm saying? I bet some of y'all turkey was so dry today. Listen, if you have some Thanksgiving stories for me, send them to me. I'll read them on the air. Because I know some of y'all probably showed up and you saw a whole table full of food and you thought it was going to be lit, and I bet all of that shit was nasty. Because let's just face it, some of y'all are just hella unseasoned. Alright? And that's okay, man. Just own that shit. You don't get it. You can't just sprinkle a little bit and, put a little seasoning in your hand and throw it in there, all of that. Some of y'all can't do that, man. You don't have that type of rhythm. You know how I can sometimes tell people's cooking is bad? You can tell by the way they walk down the street, because they always look hella nervous, and they look like they got a boo-boo real bad. So I just always get this vibe like, you know what? That's probably a MF that can't cook real well. Because if they don't walk with any type of swag, that means when they go in the kitchen, they're not just like, rocking it. You know what I'm saying? They're probably in there like, okay, what does the book say? I had a teaspoon, or is that a tablespoon? I don't know. Gail, can you come in and help me, please? I'm not really sure what to do because the book says TBS, and I'm not sure what that stands for. I know some of y'all parents be talking and acting like that, and that's okay. So if you had a sad-ass, unseasoned Thanksgiving, it's okay, man. Hit up Uber Eats. They'll deliver. But I'll tell you, man, be careful. Because my second half of the day was doing some of my traditions. So I ordered some food, and I spent about a half hour watching Buddy on the map just drive circles around the restaurant. And I could feel myself getting frustrated, but I had to remember this is a day where we're trying to be thankful. I say trying because some of y'all are only trying to be thankful for shit on this day. You spend the other 300 and something days acting like a damn entitled asshole. And I'm sometimes one of those people. So I had to remind myself it's okay. My man's out here doing his thing, getting his money, delivering food to people on a day where everybody else is taking the day off. There's no reason for me to treat him like shit or be that upset about it. I remember I was being thankful, just like I was thankful for my Bills stomping that ass in Dallas. I had to be thankful for the opportunity to be able to eat, the ability to have the finances to pay for the food, I have to look at all of those things. And so I've spent a lot of my day self-reflecting. But like I said, if you had a shitty, unseasoned Thanksgiving, get on your Uber Eats app and get you some food. There's not a lot of options. It's like Indian cuisine, some Chinese food. I found a Thai spot. But a lot of, if you were hoping to get like a hamburger or something, fam, good luck. None of those places are open because Americans really are just trying to take the day off. Other cultures are really trying to fill up those bags. They want that money. So you might be able to get something, but it probably ain't going to be what you want. But anyway, what else am I thankful for? Because that's what even though I said I wasn't going to go through the whole being thankful for thing, because I did that on Tuesday. I think after my team getting that win, I was like, you know what else? Because I'm feeling really good. Man, I'm glad for the journey. Like I said on Tuesday's episode, it's been a long, kind of rough year, but we've been killing. And I'm seeing growth every day. and I like that shit. So it's kind of lit, man. Feels good. I'm thankful for, my family's in good health. Checking in with them today. Everybody seems to be doing all right. I mean, some spirits are kind of low due to loss in the family, and days like this one where it's geared and centered towards family, things are a little bit tough. Shout out to my Arnold family making the most of their day without my grandfather. R.I.P. Big Dog. Woo woo. But yeah, for the most part, everybody's in good spirits and good health, and I thought that was dope. So I kind of switched up what I was doing on today's show because I was like, nah, I'm not going to acknowledge being thankful on a day that you're supposed to be thankful, which that's stupid petty. But now I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, man. We could fill the entire show with all of the amount of things that I'm thankful for. So today's lit, man, but I'm also thankful for this good music. So we're going to take a short break because I've been drinking a lot of tea today, and I'm actually going to get my ass up and go to the bathroom because I can do whatever I want. But thank you for tuning in, man. You're listening to the Meanquil Jackson Show. We're going to listen to a couple songs. I got some Fabulous coming up. Obviously, we got the 2 Chainz, maybe some Tupac, and then we got a whole list of some songs that's finna play today. So stay tuned. It's going to be lit. Grab your drink, your wine, your liquor, whatever. You're drinking water, you're drinking tea, drinking coffee to get geared up for Black Friday shopping. Grab your joint, grab your vape pen, whatever it is you're doing, man. Grab a seat, chill, and listen, man. It's going to be live. So I'm rocking with you till 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then I'm taking my ass to sleep. So we're going to jump into this music, man. I'm going to be right back with y'all. Yeah. Man, this shit is wild. So I actually got to go to the bathroom. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you what's on the list for the rest of the show. We got, hold up. I got to pull up my save file. So on Tuesday, we talked about lunch debt stuff. So I want to give a shout out to my boy, Richard Sherman, because I saw an article today that said Sherm, such a good dude, man. So thankful to know people like him. But my man went into his own pocket and then donated money to, I want to say it's either a school or school district somewhere in California. And he paid the entire thing, man. Let's see. Cabrillo Middle School in Santa Clara, California. Personal check, man. He donated big money. And that's respect, man, because I think that's where it starts. Obviously, Sherman's in a different bracket than a lot of people, obviously. But I think if you have people who are really going back into the communities and really just doing the stuff, you start to see trickle down effects. So hopefully those communities around that middle school, people will get inspired to do that. So I'm hoping that we can find some stories about people doing that out here in the greater Seattle area, so that way we can prop them up and highlight them as well, because I think this is a super good deed. So I'm gonna hit the bathroom, and then we're gonna jump into talking about that after the music break. So while you're waiting, subscribe, share with all your friends, do whatever it is you got to do. You're probably going to want to fast forward this a little bit. I'm going to be going less than about 30 or 45 seconds. You're just going to be looking at Batman in the chair for now. So stay with me. Ooh. Get money. Get money. Ooh. Let me slide on over here. Hey, your boy is back. I think that was probably less than 30 seconds. Let's see. What else we got, yo? We're about to talk about this bus driver who literally was driving kids around drunk the other day. Fuck, it's so wild. Hasbro, do you know who Hasbro is? Hasbro is this company that makes like toys and stuff. And like, I feel like a lot of their products and any type of content that they help produce is normally geared more towards children. But somehow they've acquired the rap label Death Row. Somehow Ray J's connected, so it all makes sense because recently Suge Knight had signed away his life rights to Ray J. So Ray J must be doing something to try to get this shit cracking. Super weird. Man. We're also going to talk about the racist lady that stopped the UPS dude, which I saw that video this morning. It was so wild because, and to credit to both of them, they weren't like going crazy on each other or nothing like that, but it just was a weird situation that he had a full uniform on and she was still like looking at him being like, well, you're suspicious and, you know, I don't know you and da-da-da-da-da. She kind of was giving him a hard time. It was just the weirdest shit. And then she like called the cops on him. Like, and it's just getting to that point where you start to wonder, like, what's going on through people's brains when they make these decisions to call the cops on people of color just because they feel uncomfortable. We gotta find a way to like institute some type of like, this has to be like some at the top. When you think of levels of harassment, this needs to be at the top to where if somebody calls and complains about it, like real action needs to be taken. We need to see people like hauled away in cuffs and, you know, like there need to be probation or pretrial diversion, you know, something. I think that might almost even be better. Like you should automatically be put on pretrial diversion and be forced to take a lot of sensitivity classes. And yeah, and go pee in cups and get drug tested and do all that bullshit like they make a lot of people do. Or just put them straight on probation and give them 3, 4, 5, 6 years of probation. I think if you can look at some of these, you know, these black people and put them on years and years of probation or give them strikes and whatnot, I think that people who are calling the cops on black people should have to go through similar types of shit. I think that's only fair because you really, I think like, we talked about the like Lizzo the other day, like giving that girl a hard time for not delivering her food, right? And in the lawsuit, the girl's claiming that she suffered from, you know, the PTSD and all that based on how she's been treated after. Now, you probably could say the same thing about these poor white people after they get crucified by being on a video where they're actively being racist towards other people. But I think it should be looked at similar ways where you look at the victims of these situations. People are having the cops called on them. Think if I'm just minding my own fucking business and I get stopped by cops. You think of all the stories that you hear and all those types of things. And it's all over the fact that you feel uncomfortable when you have your options. You can go in the house. You can walk away. Like, you can leave me the fuck alone. If I'm not bothering you, you're not bothering me. Why does it need to get to a point where you decide to try to confront me and then call the cops? Like, you could potentially be trying to ruin my life, or you could end up getting me killed, all because of your insecurities and little bullshit-ass fears that you have. Now, it's even crazier when the people that they're calling the cops on are people who are, like, they're working. They're at work, working their job. The guy's delivering packages, and he's literally being hassled. Like, he even shows in the video that he's wearing his UPS vest. And she still was spazzing on him, like little shit like that. Like, bro, you're trying to take him away from his job. You could potentially be causing him problems at his job. All for what? Because you feel uncomfortable? We got to start to institute some significant consequences for this type of shit. I want to figure out how to find people who are trying to do that and rally behind them. They have my full support. So, if y'all know anybody who's really like fighting that fight and trying to put some things in place for that, let me know so I can get on with them and try to help them out with that shit. Let me boost up my chair. Cut that off. Get money. All right, man, your boy is back, man. You know, I'm watching New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons. This is not a good year for the Falcons. Matt Ryan just threw another interception. And I think they scored. Looked like he got run over by some big mother. It's a bad, yeah. Maddie, you look upset, bro. It's a bad year for you. But anyway, before I turned the station back on, I was literally talking to the video, and I was talking about I saw this video this morning, and I apologize if I'm a little bit late because I think this video is a few days old. But I'm watching this video, and obviously this is, they're calling this lady Parcel Paula. She is a woman who stops this black man for carrying packages in her neighborhood. My man literally works for UPS. Like, in the video, he shows that he has his uniform on and all that jazz. Now, I will say, excuse me, at least the video I saw, she's not excused by any means, but this was not one of those videos where they were like spewing all types of slurs and going crazy and whatnot. It was not one of those, at least the video that I saw. There might be another version, who knows. So she at least had a little bit of restraint, but that also means that she is conscious enough to have made the decision to take her stupid ass back in the house and leave that man alone while he was doing his job. You had that option. If you had enough self-control and discipline to not call him the N-word on those videos, because that's what a lot of your people do. When they get in these little confrontations, they get mad, they call the cops, they immediately go to that. Most of them. Now, I feel like if you're understanding that he's filming you and you're doing it, and you could tell she was struggling not to want to call him a nigga. But the fact that she held it in is how I know that she also could have left his ass alone and gone in the house. Because you had enough common sense to be like, let me restrain myself enough. Well, you should have restrained yourself just a little bit more. If my man is wearing the uniform, he probably is working. Now I'll say this, I understand people are a part of HOAs and they, homeowners association, you become close with your neighbors, you want to look out for people. But at the same time, and I'm saying like this, even if my nigga had a fake vest on and was robbing people's houses, don't you think you're better suited to mind your own business rather than try to confront him? Like, what is your plan in those moments? You're not gonna do anything. Go in the house. Don't put yourself in a potentially violent situation. She's literally out there by herself. I'm not saying that Buddy was gonna do anything to her. I'm just saying, when you're trying to play the role of hero and you're not built for that shit, things can end up really bad for you. So she got lucky, because this could have turned out very different. And you've seen it before. Not saying that Buddy would have done anything, because he did not strike me as the type. Obviously, he's trying to get that bag, so he's not going to do anything to ruin that. But she looked like a whole bum because she's complaining about how she doesn't know him and he seems suspicious. Like, do y'all know all of your UPS drivers? Like, I've never known the UPS or FedEx driver. Except one time when I first moved here, I knew Buddy because he was the one who was stealing my shoe orders when they were coming to my apartment. And I got his ass fired. Boy, fat boy, you played with my shoes and my money. I played with your job, fam. Yeah. I think they know better. Most of these people understand the ramifications of messing up package deals. It could be fatal for their careers. So they try not to do anything. My man in this video today was being very nice and polite. Obviously, after a little while, you could tell he got kind of irritated, so he kind of was cussing her out a little bit. But she had that shit coming. He was doing way better than me, because I probably would have been like, look, bitch, you better take your ass in the house. I'm tired of it. I probably would have been going off on her for real, because she was hassling. Now, shout out to the person who was riding with him. He was riding with some white dude, and Buddy came over. Now, I wish that he would have came over with a little bit more force. And what I mean by that is not doing anything physical, but I wish he would have came over and been like, look, lady, we're not going to stand for this, pal. Go back in the house. Talk to your husband, Alan. We're not dealing with it. Like, he should have came out and done some stuff like that. But he hit her with the, hey, what's going on? This is my, he's my loader, whatever. He called him by his title, handler or something, whatever their job title. He called him that shit. And he kind of stuck up for him, but he definitely got steamrolled by the lady, which that tends to happen. She seemed like one of those types of moms or grandmas. She looked like more like a grandma, but she seemed like one of those ladies that's like, look, let me talk to the manager. And that was clear when she finally said, well, I'm going to call the cops. And then she called them, and she walked away several times. So she had the opportunity to walk away and stay away. And she kept coming back to him. So what I was talking about before break, sorry, I went down the rabbit hole and I jumped right out of that motherfucker. But what I was talking about before we came back from break was that I think at this point, because this has started to happen way too much, we got to get to the point where we start to institute some real types of punishment for this shit. And I'm talking about the equivalent to some of these little crimes that happen where people end up on probation for 5-6 years. I think if you call the cops on black people for no reason, and it turns out that nothing is happening, and the cops don't actually have to end up pursuing anybody, there's no suspects, there's no criminals, there's no nothing. If it all turns out that you only called because you felt uncomfortable, I think that you should either automatically go to a pretrial diversion or probation, whatever, however you want to start it off. But I think they should have to do that for like a minimum of 2 years. And they should be required to go to sensitivity trainings monthly. Take classes. The entire time you're on that shit, you should have to go to 2 classes a month, I think. I think that's the very least. And actually build up some fucking common sense and try to start to ease up on a lot of your insecurities that you have over minorities. Whatever it is about minorities that makes you uncomfortable, black people, Asian people, you know, whoever it is, Latinos, because for some strange reason, a lot of people are thrown off by Latinos, which I don't get because I love those damn people, man. And I'm part Latino. I got a little bit of Puerto Rican blood. Ain't nothing wrong with Latinos. Nothing wrong with black people. There's nothing wrong with Asians. There's nothing wrong with anybody. But all you whack-ass white folks that get so uncomfortable by people, y'all need to really go to some sensitivity trainings. So, I'm trying to start a movement where we really try to push for actual punishments for this shit. Not just like a, hey ma'am, don't do this next time. Like, no. I want it to be where if you called the cops on somebody for no damn reason, you need to either do a little bit of time or you need to go on some significant amount of probation. And I know that probably sounds crazy and people are going to be like, yo, you're whack for saying that. But, man, I don't give a shit, man. I've had the cops called on me for no fucking reason. And then because of it, had my ass whooped by them. It happens. But it shouldn't happen. That's the worst part. All because somebody feels uncomfortable. And I was a kid when that shit happened. Wasn't even doing nothing. It was crazy because we didn't even get to see the person who called them on us. We literally was walking back from the Circle K. I was like 16 years old. Walking back from the Circle K. It's me, my man David, and then my homie Philip. Philip was a little bit older than us at the time. I think Phil was like 2 years older than us. Maybe like a year and a half, something like that. Not too long, but I know at the time Phil was 18 and we were 16, 17 years old, something like that. We're walking back from getting snacks to my homeboy's house, who literally, it's like 100 yards. He literally lived right by that motherfucker. So we walked past this building, and it's at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Apparently, somebody said that we look suspicious. It's well lit. People could see us. And I'm willing to bet that based on the town that we lived in at the time, that they probably called the cops because they saw me. Because it was me, the black guy. My other 2 friends are white. So, the interaction with police is, you know, it's pretty standard. What are you guys doing? Why are you out this late? Where are your parents? Where do you all live? Blase, blase. Do you have anything on you? Obviously, at the time, I'm not, no, I did not. Genuinely did not. Phil did not. My man David had a little something on him. Nothing crazy, but even still, at the time, he's underage. It's nothing. It was nothing. So while they're kind of giving him a hard time, but also kind of just, about to kind of sort of give him a slap on the wrist, this one cop is talking to me. I'm just standing there. Yes, I have a little bit of a mouth on me, but it's more of like I'm just very short with people, a lot of times. Like, so he's asking me questions. I'm just like, yeah. Like, because how I'm conditioned to think is that the cops are not my friends. So I have no real reason to talk to you. Let me know what the deal is, what you want me to do, who I need to call, and then let me take my ass home. So, remember what I said. My homeboy's house is probably, at this point where the cops stop us, we're probably like 150 feet from where his house is, which is where all of our stuff is at, right? So, the cop's looking at me. He tells my friend Phil, he's like, Phil, you're 18. You can go ahead and go. He lets Phil. Phil walks back to the house. So he tells me, he's like, you got to call your parents. You got to go home. And so I'm like, okay, bet. Well, let me go grab my backpack. So I go to start following Phil because, like I said, my stuff is all over there. Tell me why Buddy snatched me up and threw me into the car. This is after they're telling us that we're essentially free to go and I just need to find somebody to come pick me up. And I think Phil was going to be the one that was going to take me home. So I was thinking it's not going to be even a big deal. We're going to jump in the Blazer because my man Phil used to drive this maroon Blazer. We're going to jump in the Blazer and he's going to shoot me down the highway and I'm going to be at the house. Not a big deal, right? This motherfucker grabs me, slams me in the car, and then says I'm under arrest for resisting arrest. So if you hear what I said, I'm under arrest for resisting arrest, which that means that before that I was being placed under arrest, even though that had never been communicated to me. So he slams me, he holds me real close, and I'm like, yo, fam, and I'm kind of talking shit at this point. I'm like, what the fuck you doing, man? Get your hands off me, man. Come on, man. Don't touch me, bro. I was living in a whack-ass town in Florida, man. I probably sounded like that. I don't know. However 16-year-olds sound. I wasn't as big as I am now, and I was not as, I don't think at the time I was getting as fired up about stuff. I think I was getting in trouble at school, but not to the point. I think after this situation is when I really turned it up, and then basically the self-destruction had kind of started. I think at this time I was still kind of a good kid. Kinda. But Buddy slams me against the car and he said the wildest thing to me. My man literally said, don't you move, because I know how you people act. And of course I said, what you mean? What people? Who's acting? I said something to that effect. And he goes, black people. I'll never forget that shit. Because these were the stories that my mother used to tell me all the time. Be careful, this could happen. And this is in the same town where I was in the car with my mom when we first moved to this trashy ass town. And we literally were stopped and the cop was like, why are you driving through here? What is your business here? And we had just moved to this area. This is the same town where people tried to burn shit in our front yard. And anybody who is from this place that's listening, if you want to try to tell me that I'm bullshitting, my nigga, you can fucking fact check me, fam. I will call people who can confirm these fucking stories because this shit is real and it's annoying. And it starts from people being uncomfortable and insecure, so they call the cops on people of color because it'll maybe make them feel better. Matt Ryan just threw another interception in case you're wondering. The Falcons really suck. So I'm not a fan of this place for these reasons. I think it's absolute trash that we can't just let people walk amongst us without having to be caught up in their business. This lady who's giving my man a hard time about these packages, lady, all you had to do is take your annoying ass in the house. You had to say nothing to him. You know how often I talk to UPS and FedEx drivers? Never, my nigga. Because unless they're bringing me a package, what do I need to talk to them for? Or unless we see each other and we say hello, hope you have a good day. Hey man, how's it going? Good. And you keep it moving. But otherwise, there's no need for you to talk to them. Let them do their job so they can drop their packages off, finish their route, and go home to their families and go live their life like you want to. But you can't do that. A lot of these white folks can't do that. They got to be in everybody's fucking business, man. You know how annoying that gets? Now, take it from me, somebody who's been on the wrong side of one of these stupid ass calls. Now, you could look at my situation, the story that I just told you, and you could probably say, fam, were you doing the right thing? Should you have been out that late? Well, I mean, it was a Friday night. We always kicked it at my man Jeff's house that late. And yeah, we wanted snacks from the Circle K, so we walked over there. How was I supposed to know that there's a curfew for the city when you're 16? It's like one of those unwritten laws. You shouldn't be out that late. Now, to finish the story, this is crazy. So they really throw me in the back of the car and they try to take me to the jail. One thing that they didn't realize at the time, the person who used to live next to my dad was the guy who was the canine officer. My man Chris. Chris, I ain't gonna say your last name. I don't know what Chris is doing. I hope Chris is doing well though, him and his family. Good people. I will say, Chris is the only reason why I can accurately say that I don't think all cops are bad. I don't think the idea of cop is bad. It's just that particular person in that moment and whatever type of mental dysfunction they're having is what leads to them to do the things that they did. Because the other cop that was involved with me that night, he didn't mistreat me. It was just his bitch ass partner. And to think, you're hassling a 16-year-old kid. Now, people, these are my stories. And I'm lucky because I didn't get killed. I told another one of my stories on this show before. The other one that happened after this. One happened when I was 16, one happened when I was 18. Both could have been potentially horrible for me. And I got lucky. Not everybody gets that lucky. But anyway, they didn't realize Chris was my next door neighbor. They bring me up to the little station and Chris is in there. So he was able to work it out. I appreciate Chris and, helping out, doing whatever it is. And I think they tried to call my dad. My dad's a bum, so he didn't really do nothing. And they just ended up taking me home. Or they took me to where the city lines are. And they had a Santa Rosa sheriff pick me up and then take me the rest of the way home, which was super weird. So I got to ride in 2 different cop cars that night, all because Buddy wanted to try to prove that he was a tough guy. Now, I don't remember the dude's name, barely remember what he looks like at this point, but I hope maybe after that incident, I hope maybe nothing else like that happened. I hope that he was able to grow from that situation and look at it. Maybe I shouldn't be such a fucking asshole to 16-year-old kids. Kids, bro. I was a kid. I wasn't 6'4", 235 pounds. When I was 16, I probably was like 5'10", maybe. I was a little guy, a little fat guy. Little compared to myself now, but fatter than all the other kids. But I was nobody, bro. I mean, yeah, I had hands, but I wasn't fighting adults. I wasn't doing anything that would result in me needing to be handled by police in that manner. My man was just upset because he felt like in that moment I disrespected him. And he felt the best way to show me, his little boy, a lesson was to snatch me up and slam me into the freaking car. Hit my head on the damn fucking roof of that shit. That's how small I was at the time. When he slammed me against the car, the top of where the roof of the car is what hit me in the head. So I was only about that tall at the time. Literally standing up straight. That's where I hit my head. Was where the door and the roof meet. Crazy shit, man. And that all stemmed from somebody calling the cops because they were uncomfortable by the presence of minorities. Because the little town that I lived in is just all white folks. And then it was me. And then my homie. And then my sister for a little bit. And then this other girl that lived behind where my homie lived at. It was us. That was it. And then there were some more people that lived, moved over there eventually. Marcus showed up, Mims showed up, and Damien, and there were some other Negroes that showed up. But when I was young, it was only me, and it was only Emmanuel, and it was only Doug. That was it, and Ashley, and my sister. Those were all the fucking Negroes in our town, man. And I don't mean to disrespect y'all by saying that. Y'all not Negroes, y'all are my people. I love y'all. For real. But going through that shit, that's crazy, man. And that's one of a handful of times that I had the cops called on me due to people being uncomfortable. It happens. So shout out to this UPS man. I want to give him the biggest shout out because he handled himself properly. He conducted himself with some grace and some class. So that's where he makes her look extra shitty, is that she's the one being disrespectful and spazzing out, and he's not. So even if, you know, the majority of the people won't give him that credit for that reason, I definitely want to acknowledge him and the way he handled himself, because I think that's important. Because I know in those moments, she's expecting you to flip out. Like I always say, oh, couldn't have been me, fam, because I would have spazzed out. Yeah, that's what they're expecting you to do. I have to remind myself of that. They're expecting you to spaz out. So we got to work twice as hard to do everything we can not to give them a reason to look at us and say, I told you so. So, again, shout out to this young man for, maintaining composure, doing his thing, handling that lady with class. Like I said, he used a little bit of foul language towards her, but she had that shit coming. Racist lady, F you. I hope you choked on your turkey, man, because you were doing the wrong thing the other day when you were giving my man a hard time for no reason. So, man, let me get off that, man. We're going to jump into this break real quick. And then we're going to come back with a couple more topics, man. I'm still sitting here just watching the Atlanta Falcons versus New Orleans Saints. This game is trash. I'm about to flip it to some basketball or something. But I appreciate you tuning in. On November 28th, it is Thanksgiving or Turkey Day or Steal Stuff from Natives Day, whatever you want to call it. Man, we're live, man. I'm with you for another hour. We're through the first hour of the show, which is awesome. And then after this, I'm, going to go to sleep. So I'm not sure what y'all are doing. If you're not in a food coma, you're probably waiting in the line out in the cold in front of some door of some horrible ass shopping center. So hopefully you got your headphones in and you're listening to this shit. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. We got some Tupac, some Bobby Shmurda coming up, maybe some Trigger Trace, some Futuristic, some 8-Ball MJG. Fuck, man, there's all kind of stuff. Some E40, some Usher might get played tonight. So stay tuned, man. It's going to be lit. So appreciate y'all tuning in. This is the Me and Cool Jackson Show. I am your host, Me and Cool Jackson, and we are lit. Yeah, man, it's wild. I had to dig into that because that's something that I'm starting to get real tired of is the calling the police on people. Like, what's the point of that? Why do y'all feel so uncomfortable, man? Most of us are not bad people. Like, I know I'm not a bad person. I'm hella cool. I probably look like an asshole because I don't really be smiling a lot. But I'll just be chilling, man. Y'all have no reason to be scared of me. I'm not going to do nothing to you. Because what I need to do something to you for. If you haven't done anything to me, we're good. If you get too close, you violate my space, and you're on some type of like let's rumble type of shit, then I'm gonna whoop your ass. And that's just what it is. But for the most part, it's always gonna be love when you see me. Because if you don't disrespect me, I have no reason to disrespect you. That should just be everybody's standard code. You treat people the way you want to be treated, but you treat them the way that they treat you. That's how I live every day. So as long as you're chill and you're respectful and you keep it G, like everything's going to be good. Y'all got to stop being so scared and trust and believe in yourself. If you know you're a good person, you should know that you have no reason to beef with people and people have no reason to beef with you. Use your best attributes in those moments. Strike up conversation. Get to know these people. Get to understand more about their backgrounds before you just panic. Because you never know, y'all might have so much in common. And you squander away your opportunities to get to know great people because y'all are in fear. There's no reason to be afraid of anybody. People are going to make their choices. Yes, people can hurt you. Maybe that just ends up being your situation. I mean, God forbid we don't want that to happen. But like, you got to understand, like, for the most part, the majority of the people that you walk amongst are really great people, and they want what's best for the general. We want everybody to do well. We want everybody to be successful. We want everybody to excel. There is no reason to have hatred or ill feelings and ill will towards other people. And there's no reason to be scared of them to the point that you would want to call the cops on them when they're not even doing anything to you. Most of these people are like 50, 60 feet away. You're calling the cops on somebody who's not even in your space, fam. They're not bothering you. They're not doing nothing. But it makes it to where, like, shit, I have a hard time just being out in public by myself and standing in one spot for too long. Because if I'm not being productive, I always have that fear that people are going to think that I'm trying to steal or I'm trying to like plot to do something bad. And I'm always afraid that people are going to call the fucking cops on me. So everywhere I go, I have to go with purpose. I have to know, like, I'm walking in to look for this specific item. I have 35 seconds to walk around by myself, and if I can't find it, I have to ask for help. That way it looks like I'm being productive in this store, because any longer than that, then they're going to start sending people to follow me around because they think I'm a fucking criminal. You know how crazy it is that I have to think about that shit when I go out? White people do not have those problems. What I just laid out for you is what I think about all the time when I go shopping. Even when I just go to the Safeway. Where my current location is, there's a Safeway that's like a block from here. I'm in that mug like 5-6 times a week. And I still walk in. I had to study and know where everything's at on every single aisle because I don't want to just be walking around aimlessly. Because if people think that you are not like shopping specifically or that you don't know what you're doing, they assume the worst about you when you are a person of color. That's hella unfortunate. White folks can be at the grocery store all day, just walking around not doing nothing. I don't feel like I can do that, man. I always feel like there's going to end up being problems if I'm walking around a store or something like that. And don't let it be a shopping store, you know, where you're going buying clothes and electronics and all that, because they look at most black people like, oh, these broke niggas probably never had nothing, so they're in here trying to steal all this shit, fam. I don't want to steal nothing you got. I don't steal, fam. I do not steal, especially not at this age. There ain't nothing that any store has that I would want to steal. Like, why not just earn the money, work hard, and go buy it? Fuck, I look like stealing. But they literally will follow you around. I brought this up on a previous show. The one place that I go to with some frequency that actually purchase items is Dick's Sporting Goods from time to time. Mainly because I just go in there to buy some socks every now and again. Or like I'll go buy like, you know, workout equipment, shit like that. But they literally sent people to follow me around at the Dick's Sporting Goods in Renton at the Landing. Yeah, I'm saying your exact location. So that way, if anybody hears this, Matt Ryan just fumbled again in case you're wondering. But if anybody working for that company hears this, yeah, they follow black people at that store. Now, there was a time, and I say, I saw this with my own eyes. There's one time I was in there buying something. I was actually buying some shit for work. And I literally watched a guy walk out with bags worth of stuff that he had not paid for. And literally, when I was inside, I watched him grab a bag from behind the counter, reach behind the counter, grab the bag, put the stolen items in it, and tried to walk out. And the dude followed him out and everything. He took off running in the parking lot. It was the craziest shit ever. I'm like, and he had like 8 shoe boxes. Fam probably robbed them for hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. So to some degree, I get it. You got to be on your toes. But to assume that just because the person's colored and maybe they don't end up buying something, to assume that they're stealing something, like, that shit's crazy, man. Because I see so many people that walk in there and walk out. And if they're not buying anything, it's probably because the stuff that you're selling is not as good. It's not that good of quality. You don't have shit that I'm looking for. I'm still allowed to go in and look. Y'all got to stop sending people to follow black people. It's just horrible. And stop calling the cops on black people. That shit is horrible. But anyway. It's 8, man. We threw the first hour. I'm about to jump back in. Here we go. Let's get it. Hey. That old Bobby Shmurda. And now we got the trigger trade plan. Yo, but I'm about to cut this shit off. Let me cut it off right about now. Look, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's the Murked Jackson Show. I am your host, Murked Jackson. Yo, something cool I saw today. Shout out to one of my guys, Richard Sherman, man. He's a good dude. I've known Richard for some years now. He was him and my brother went to school together when they played football at Stanford. And then I actually think they were roommates when they first came out to Seattle and they played on the Seahawks together. So I know Richard. I spent significant time around him, had some really good conversations with him. He's genuinely a good dude. I think when people see sometimes how he acts, how he acts up at work, that's how I always refer to it. When he's acting up at work and challenging people and being all huff and gruff and talking his shit. I think some people look at it as like, oh, typical athlete, and he's trying to be this, trying to be that. No, Sherman's a real dude. He is that intelligent. He is that passionate. Like, he's just that guy. He's genuinely a good dude. Somebody that always shows me respect anytime he sees me. So it's all love. On Tuesday, we were talking about this school lunch debt and how all these different schools are trying to enforce these corny ass policies and take food out of kids' mouths. And I've talked about this multiple times. And then one of the things that I was trying to find a way to make happen is that I want to look at a lot of our areas here in King County, South King County especially, and try to find ways that we can wipe this stuff out for certain schools. And try to knock out as many school districts as we possibly can and try to get people from every community to band together to somehow clear this stuff, and let's find a way to help kids get free lunch. So I see this article pop up today where I guess yesterday Sherm went into a middle school in Santa Clara, which I think is Cabrillo Middle School in Santa Clara, and he just cut them a check for about 7.5 racks just to clear out their lunch debt for their school, just like out of his pocket. And this is not a surprise, because I've seen him do gestures like this just because he feels it in his heart and he wants to do right by people. He understands the platform that he has and the opportunities that he's been afforded. I mean, my nigga's from Compton, bro. He's from a place where you not a lot of people have stuff. His family has dealt with adversity. He's dealt with adversity. He's overcome. He's become a great athlete. And he's been given an opportunity that a lot of people would never get in their lives. And so he does always try to find ways to give that shit back, no matter where he's at. So big shout out to Richard Sherman, man. This was very impressive. He donated this money just to clear their lunch bill. I thought this was super dope. And then it looks like, hold on, I want to read some information about the school. Let's see. The middle school is, it's the closest to the Levi Stadium, which is where the 49ers play. Let's see. But it says that last month he wrote a check for over $20,000 to Tacoma School District here in Washington, which is even cooler, man. This is something I didn't hear about, which I'm kind of shocked. But yeah, I mean, he's doing everything he can to help, man. I probably need to reach out to him about this and see if there's something I can help him do. If we can find a way to use my mini platform mixed with his gigantic platform to, really try to fight this fight. That way it's not just him having to give up all his money, because this is something that I'm really passionate about. But man, shout out to Sherm, man. Like, that's crazy. I did not know this. So to 20,000 over, it says over. So who knows what the actual number is, but this was given to Tacoma Public Schools in Tacoma, Washington to, relieve the lunch debt. I think that is super dope. So man, I would really, and I've done this before, and I know it's tough because not all of us have the opportunity to meet people that we see on TV. But I urge you to not just base and assume what a person's character is based on how they perform in an athletic event or how they, act during a movie. Because I think you'd be surprised at the lengths that some of these people go to help other people, and how intelligent they are, and like, just how driven and motivated they are by doing the right thing by all people and using their platform to do so. I know there's so many times where we want to look at some of these people and be like, just shut up and play. Don't comment. Don't do this and don't do that. But then you look at things like this, and these are the things that you're always hoping that people will do. You're always hoping that someone will just pull out their checkbook and just slide 50,000 to whoever to cover some debt that people have somehow accumulated. We're always hoping for these types of miracle stories, and I know I've seen the way people talk about my man Sherm, and then you look at this type of stuff. This is a good thing, man. So like I said, I urge you just to be a little bit cautious and maybe not be so quick to judge a lot of people, because you never know the type of fights that people are fighting and the things that they're trying to do to help other people. So shout out to him, man. And like I said, if you are looking at ways to get involved, please join me in trying to find a way to service a lot of our King County and South King County, school districts, and finding ways to help them get better programs for kids, clear out these school lunch debts, and just make sure that we can help propel the generation that's coming after us and put them on a track to success. Because if they're not able to eat and their brains are not functioning at full capacity, they're not going to be able to learn any of the stuff that we need them to learn, so that way we can prevent disasters from happening. We want to make sure that we, leave the shit better than the way that we found it. Like, we got to remember that, doing the simple things are sometimes the most effective. And taking care of our kids is one of those simple things that can end up being the most effective. And that means making sure that all of our kids can eat. So, again, shout out to Sherm for doing that. And shout out to anybody who's, doing whatever they can to impact the lives of our youth. I'm somebody who works in that field, and so anytime I hear of people doing that work, and I have multiple friends and people that I've met who, they're either doing social work or they're working in childcare, or, they're therapists, psychologists, whatever. They're doing everything to help kids in those spaces, doctors and pediatrics. Like, shout out to the people who are really helping to make sure that our young people have as many chances as possible. That kind of segues me to my next topic, where we don't want to shout out the idiot bus driver who put our kids' lives on the line by driving the bus while she's drinking a beer. Fam, the buses have cameras, dog. You didn't think they had you on camera? And she's looking like a old ass bum at the corner by where the corner store and the strip club is at, and the pawn shop. She's looking like one of these people. She got the brown paper bag just wrapped over the can. Like, you're not even trying to be discreet. If you really wanted to do this, I'm in no way condoning, but I'm just saying, if I'm going to do something stupid, I want to be a little bit smarter about it. You should have taken something that would give the appearance of something that is not alcohol related and put it in there. I feel like everybody knows that. This person obviously is too dumb to even do that. Didn't even try. Just went to the store, bought the drink, let the cashier put the brown paper bag on it, and then she called it a day. So, Aurora, Illinois. Let me hold this up so I can read it. A school bus driver was arrested after police say she drank a beer while picking up students from school. So it's an afternoon beer. Okay, girl, I see you. According to Aurora Police Department, 44-year-old Michelle Pasley picked up the school bus around 6 a.m. on November 15th and completed one route before buying 2 cans of beer at a gas station. Jesus Christ. What's this girl's name again? Michelle. Michelle, you're an idiot. The video from the school bus appears to show Pasley placing the beer can into a brown paper. So the cashier didn't do it. She did it. She puts the can into a brown paper bag and then drinking from it while driving as many as 32 elementary school kids on the bus. The effects of alcohol. The way that it can impair you. Now, I know. You're thinking 2 beers. What's 2 beers? I don't think that matters because they tell you when you sign up for that job, the job of bus driver, you're operating a motor vehicle. Even with your own car, they tell you you're not supposed to drink and drive. It's a very strong suggestion. Please don't drink and drive. You shouldn't drink and drive when you're driving a school bus with children on it. 32 kids, up to 32 kids. Police credited the alert gas station clerk for contacting the school after selling beer to the driver and watching her drive off in the bus. Oh my God. You drove the bus to the gas station, fam, and you bought beers? Jesus Christ. Shout out to that convenience store clerk who had the wherewithal to contact the district so they could intervene. Aurora Police Chief Kristen Zimmons said, okay, nice use of the word wherewithal. I love that. Anytime someone can use that, I think that's pretty dope. Yo, this lady looks rough, bro. Her jail pick, she must be going through it. The school district said Pasley is not an employee of the district and contracts First Student Bus Company for using its busing services. So the school district can't actually find drivers, or they can't afford to pay people, so they contract out. And this is one of the people that the other people said. This is fucking wild. Y'all got to stop trying to be cheap and try to go outside and actually take the time to hire the right people. What happens if she wrecks that bus because she's drunk? You're talking about potentially, I'm just going to say if it was 32 different kids, 32 families, lives impacted, all because some lady's being an idiot, and all because you're trying to pinch pennies and you don't want to pay people the right money to actually get good employees in there. You got this fucking bozo. It's our kids' lives on the line. I always say our kids, man, because I'm in the business of protecting children. And this is not a way that we keep our kids safe. Driving the bus, drinking beers. I wonder if it says what kind of beer she had. Let's see. Here's a statement from the First Student Bus Company that Michelle worked for, her actual employer. In a statement, First Student Bus Company said, at First Student, there is nothing more important than the safety of the students we transport. Oh no, doy. Of course you're supposed to say that. Way to lead with that, though. We understand and share in the concern this incident has caused. We are incredibly disappointed by our former driver's actions. So she obviously got fired. First Student has a zero tolerance policy for employees whose action may put others at risk. Behavior such as this is completely unacceptable and at odds with what we stand for as a company. The driver has been terminated. Since the incident occurred, we have been working with the authorities to support their investigation. Given that this is an active investigation, we are unable to comment further. Well, you said all the right things. You fired this crusty ass little roach. You got her out of here. And you probably put the parents' minds at ease. But it also means that that company is going to have to go through and they're going to have to rework all of their policies and procedures in regards to how they hire people. They're going to have to check in with their HR department and make sure that the recruiting team is actually getting people who aren't fucking stupid. Because you got to be a really stupid person to drive your school bus up to the gas station, purchase alcohol while still on the clock, and then go drive around, pick up kids, and then attempt to take them home. That's crazy to me, man. So yeah, shout out to the gas station clerk for, making the call to the school district and saying something. And then they busted her. I'm glad. She probably was surprised as a motherfucker when she saw the whoop whoop and see the lights in the back. All that blue and red flash. She said, oh, what's going on? Fam, you have a beer in your hand. It's a school bus. There's kids in the back. Go ahead and get out so we can take you to jail. That's what I would have said. I would have said to her, like, go ahead and just get out. Don't try to run. Don't try to do nothing stupid. We don't want to embarrass you any more than we already are in front of these kids. But get your ass out. It's time to go to jail because you're being a damn dummy. She should, like what I heard Max Kellerman say all last week, like with Mason Rudolph. You should pay a stupid tax just for being stupid. So that shit is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's see, man. Hey, it's Thanksgiving or Turkey Day or, steal stuff from Natives Day. However you decide to rep it, that's up to you. But I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Hope you're enjoying your time with your family. Shout out to my family. I love you guys. Hope all is well. I miss you. Hope you like seeing my ugly mug on this screen. But hey, we lit. Everybody's lit. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in to the Murked Jackson Show. We are live on Track Talk Radio Tuesday and Thursday nights from 7 and 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you missed the live version of the show, there's always a recording on YouTube. So go to my page. It's under the name Murked Jackson, and you can see the last 13 episodes of this shit because we're starting to get deep into this. I think this is 14. This is 13 or 14, something like that. But it's lit, man. We're going crazy. So thank you for tuning in. Shout out to all the new fans of the show, fans of the page, fans of all the funny memes. And I appreciate everybody's feedback. Shit, man. We lit, man. I ain't gonna forget about y'all, man. When I make it, tacos on me. So let's turn up, man. Get into this music. We're going to be back shortly. Yeah. Whoo. Looks like Atlanta's trying to score. It looks like they did just score. Right now it's 26-17. So I guess they got the 2-point conversion. So they got 3 minutes left. Maybe they can come back and pull off something crazy. But I highly doubt it. Matt Ryan's been absolutely terrible. It's been a bad season for the Falcons. So if you are a Falcons fan, you're probably really going through it at this point in life. No, I don't think he gets the 2-point. I think he fumbled that motherfucker out of the back of the end zone like a damn dummy. He let the ball go before he crossed the pylon. God, he's an idiot. Man. I don't know. Like I said, it's Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, steal stuff from Natives Day. We're about an hour and a half, almost an hour and a half through the show. There really ain't too much more to dive into, man. We might just sit here and chat with y'all for a little bit and just let them listen to the music. We might let like 3 or 4 songs run and then jump back into it and finish out. It's going to be a short show because it's a holiday episode, man. I wanted to do the show, but there's also a part of me that's like, I don't really want to sit here for the whole 2 hours. Because I was thinking about going to do some shopping. Mainly just at the Safeway, get some candy. And then get some Advil PM so I can put myself to sleep. Nah, I was playing. Nah, I'm enjoying being here with y'all, man. It's been a chill day, chill night. We had some great sports games on. I've had some great conversations with people. Man, yeah, it's been a pretty interesting day. I've gotten to check in with a lot of my people. People are doing great, and that makes me happy. That puts me in a good mood. So it's been a fun day for sure. Especially a day where I chilled by myself, and I think normally, if I wasn't in the head space or frame of mind that I'm in now, I probably would have been sad and depressed the whole day. But everything was copacetic, just chilling, man. It's all good. Dang, I hear it's snowing in Las Vegas. And I heard it snowed today in California. Where's our snow at, man? Shit is crazy. But no, on the real, I'm not trying to see no snow because Gus can't really handle that shit. Gus is my car. Wait, did Atlanta just recover the onside kick? Oh, nah, one of them dummies was offsides. Never mind. I thought they recovered that shit. I was about to bug out, bro. Because if they would have recovered it, then they probably have a chance to come back and win. But anyway, Buddy's offside, so we got to jump into some other stories. Let me find my shit. Let's see. We talked about Gabrielle Union getting fired. there's some of this stuff, man. This stuff is getting kind of old. I don't know, man. Fuck it. We're gonna just chill and tell some more stories, man. Like I said, this is like a vacation episode. I'm just gonna lay back, relax. It is what it is, man. Like I said, oh, they re-kicked it and Atlanta recovered it. Oh shit, I'm wilding right now. This is crazy. It's 3.5 minutes left and Atlanta just recovered the onside kick. Down 11. Damn, that's the perfect kick too. Kicked it where only his dude ended up getting it. Wow. But anyway, let's see, story time. What else did I do today? Man, it wasn't a whole lot. This has really been just such a low-key day. Now we're just kind of just chilling. This will probably be the most boring episode that's on there because now I'm just rambling. I only really had enough content to fill the first hour and a half. And now there really ain't much left. Let's see. Oh, but you know what? We're going to get back to my NASA thing. Because I have been talking about NASA stuff. And then I kind of went away from it. But I kind of just barely been touching on it. But we're going to get back into the NASA debacle. Because it's not so much NASA. Because, like, I don't really care if we went to the moon or not. But it's more so like, how do we end up letting guys who were working directly with Hitler come over here and try to like be in charge of like the space program and all that shit? Like that shit to me is kind of crazy. We might dive into that. Operation Paperclip and Ann Jacobson. I think that's her name. Hold on, let me pull it up. Paperclip, paperclip. Where is it? Annie Jacobson. Why was I calling her Ann? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Yeah, but she was like really going in on this Operation Paperclip stuff, which is pretty wild. So we might jump into that. Hey, y'all know about that cut. Let me turn that off. That A-Ball and MJG, straight Cadillac pimping. Y'all don't know about that. Man, that's what we can talk about. Let's talk about some music. Oh, I said I was going to talk about at the beginning. I forgot to tell y'all. So this morning, I've been waking up extremely early because I haven't been able to sleep. And lately, my days have been starting at about 3:30 a.m. So I know I have listeners all across the nation. We even have some people who are listening in the UK. Where is the other country? We had some people in some Latin American countries that said they were like checking out. They're not living there. They were just visiting, but still tuned into the show. So I appreciate that. But so that means I'm international, fam. Hey, we lit. But I've been waking up at 3:30 in the morning a lot. So sometimes people have been seeing me online, like sharing memes and shit. Yeah, that's me because I can't sleep. So today what I decided to do is I wanted to add some music to my playlist that I've been listening to. And I have a lot of songs on my iPod, excuse me, and on my phone. And when I say a lot, I mean probably like 15, 16,000. It's easily that many. And a lot of it is duplicates and shit like that. Different versions, whatever the case may be. But it's a lot of music. So I went through and added tons of songs to this playlist, and I'm hearing shit that I feel like I ain't heard in years. So earlier this week and several times last week on the show, we talked about Omarion. And shout out to Omarion again. Let me clap it up for my man Omarion. Being unbothered by the corniness and pettiness of his baby mama and his former bandmate and former friend, Lil Fizzy. Is it Fizzy? And I'm being condescending. I know what his fucking name is. Lil Fizz. Fizz is smashing his baby moms. So what Omarion did was he decided to cut the checks, literally. Not like cut them checks, but cut their checks by not asking B2K to headline the tour. So this morning, when I'm scrolling through all the music, what I decided to do is, let's go through the B2K catalog. And I added like 10 songs to the playlist. I was jamming them all this morning too before I went hoop. I was like, yo, these songs really were not that bad. Now, anything where Lil Fizz was rapping, I was not a fan of that. Anybody that was a part of TUG, which was like their old little record label group type of deal with Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston and IMX and B2K, and I think there was a couple of female acts on there, but anybody that was a part of that shit, all their rap skills were garbage. So anytime you hear a song by them and they're rapping, it's awful. But some of the stuff today, I was like, yo, I forgot about these tracks. And no, they're not hot, but they're hot for today. So in honor of Omarion and his pettiness, I went through the whole B2K catalog. They only got a couple of good songs. Like Gots to Be was a hot record. That was like the original cut that they had. That was good. I didn't like Lil Fizz rapping on that. But the lyrics on his verses are pretty funny. Because what does he say? He said, yo, I'm only 15. What I need with a wife. We can walk through the mall while I hold your hips. And I think he says, and you can hang off the drop while I'm pushing the whip. Fam, you literally just said you were 15 in that verse. How are you driving the whip? You don't have a permit. You don't have a license. You don't have none of that. Atlanta just recovered a second onside kick, bro. I can't even believe it. It's 26-18. They just recovered 2 onside kicks in the last 5 minutes of this game. Well, more like 3, but 5 minutes of real time. This is unreal, bro. I've never in my life seen 2 onside kicks recovered in a game in less than a couple of minutes. This is insane. I'm sorry, I interrupted the entire music story. And it's by the same nigga, too. Oh, my God. Oh, no, it's a different dude. But the guy who recovered it before was the one who broke it up this time for his teammate to recover it. This is crazy. See, they wouldn't be able to have me in this football game because I'd be going wild, cussing and shit. I would have jumped out of the damn booth. They'd be like, yo, man, we're on national TV. You can't talk like that. I'd be like, nah, fuck that. This shit is crazy. We lit. Why didn't Atlanta play this well when they played in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots back in the day? Sorry asses. What was I talking about? We was talking about B2K. Everybody in that group where they were rapping, all them niggas was trash. But I went through that catalog. What else did I add? There was some NSYNC on there. I Want You Back. That was a hot record. I had that on there. Some Journey. Don't Stop Believing. That's lit, man. There's just all kinds of shit, man. So I was loving the music. So it inspired me to add some of this stuff to the queue today. That's why we have 8 Ball and MJG. Straight Cadillac Pimpin'. There's some E40 on here. And I'm talking about Tell Me When to Go E40. What else we got? Mystical featuring Outkast, Neck of the Woods. Man, I had that banging. Outkast old catalog. I've been going through that. That shit is crazy. Old school players to new school fools. Why don't they make music like that anymore, man? All we get now is this garbage ass trash that they brainwash y'all into listening to. They make you think that it's good when it's not good, man. I'm tired of it. Give me good music. I want good music. So if you know somebody who's an artist who's really pumping out good music and you want me to listen to them, DM me now and tell me who you are listening to because I want to hear something good. Because a lot of the stuff that I end up hearing on the radio is absolute trash, which is why I'm still listening to B2K. And I'm tired of it. So, we don't have much time left, but I wanted to revisit a subject that I have been saying I wanted to talk about. And I've been doing it as I've gathered more information. I have been getting very distracted, so my moon landing and Operation Paperclip investigation had kind of taken a bit of a back seat. We'd put that on hold. But on a previous episode, I had mentioned the person who was kind of heading up the Operation Paperclip, like unraveling, who has been doing this, because this is several years old. I'm very late to the game, but I'm talking about it because it's interesting to me. But her name is Annie Jacobson, and I think before I just referred to her as this lady, but I did say that I wanted to make sure I represented her properly on a future show, and I had that opportunity now, so I'm doing it now. But shout out to Annie Jacobson. I first saw her on the Joe Rogan Experience, and I watched the episode where her and Joe were talking about Operation Paperclip. And this was after my homeboy James had been telling me, shout out to James Smith, James is telling me all this crazy shit, and he's like, yo, this shit is wild, and like, we had Nazis who were deep into that shit, and then we brought them over here to run NASA, and it all is kind of connected to like, did we go to the moon or not? Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't really give a shit. I think there is something to be said about the fact that, wait, we were able to go in like the 50s and 60s, but now all of a sudden with all these advancements in technology, we're not going. Like, we don't have people just doing like, you know, monthly trips up to the moon. Like, that's just crazy to me. But when you start to get into some of this stuff, it gets very crazy to think about. There's this entire thing about how we're taking high, and I mean high. If there's a table, right, and Hitler's at spot 1, there's guys that were within the, you know, those other 9 spots of him that we brought over here to run specific programs, whether it be within medical or if it's in science, anything that was like science related. We just took the best scientists, we brought them over here, we gave them shelter and refuge after they slaughtered people. We're talking about people who literally are in the room with Hitler being like, yeah, and those 10,000 over there, kill them all. We had those people, and we're like, hey, we're going to give you a pass because you're so smart. You probably can help us compete with, I think it was Russia. Russia was the other people who I guess went to space first. And so they want to compete with them. So they're willing to, you know, God, I can't even believe this. You know how slimy this is to think about? The fact that they're really willing to let go of the fact that these people were over there being a part of committing mass genocides, which we're talking about that again. That's fitting since it's Thanksgiving, but you're really bringing in the people who were in charge of all those killings, and you're bringing them over here, and you're basically like, hey, we're going to give you a new identity to some degree. You're going to get a good job. We're going to pay you good money. Your family will be able to come live over here in the United States, and da-da-da-da-da. All so we could go to the moon. If we did, I hope it was worth it. Now, when I'm watching the episode of the Joe Rogan Experience with Joe and Annie, and they're talking about Operation Paperclip, Joe is mentioning, and I forget the name of the guy that he said, and forgive me for, you know, not having as much knowledge on this, but I struggle to pronounce names and stuff, so I know I would end up slaughtering the person's name. But Joe was mentioning that the specific person that they were talking about was discussed by people like high-ranking lawyers and people of power, where they said that this guy specifically is somebody that they would have like charged for like crimes against humanity. Like, he's that big of a deal. Like, look, you're out here slaughtering thousands and thousands and thousands of people, like, and we just like let that shit go because they offered to help with vaccines and like creating chemicals and helping with NASA shit. and that's crazy to me, because that right there is all I would need to know to always and forever kind of be on the side of, yes, I could see the government doing some shady shit. Like, nothing now to me would be a surprise. Because, excuse me, as we all grow up, all we're ever told is about how shitty Nazis were and how bad a lot of these people are, and this and that. And, like, that's all we ever heard. But now, and like I said, some of this stuff is 4, 5, 6 years old when Annie was doing these interviews about Operation Paperclip. So like I said, I'm very late to the game. But like, now that I'm hearing this stuff, I'm just like, yeah, of course they did that. Of course they killed Epstein. Of course they killed JFK. Of course they covered up this. Of course they did that. Why wouldn't they do that? Whatever it is that's going to help people who have deep pockets advance in life and continue to keep their pockets laced. And if they can be the first to do, because some of this stuff is just for bragging rights ultimately. They wanted to be the first people who like did this and the first people to do that. So you're willing to sacrifice your own morals to be like, look, man, we know you just killed 50 to 60,000 people just in the last week, but we're willing to give you a shot if you'll just come down and live over in the United States and just help us, find a way to get to the moon. If you're willing to do that, then, we'll be willing to let some of this shit go. Which that's crazy, because y'all don't be letting black people go. We got people that's in jail right now for like little marijuana offenses, selling dime bags. Like, who's more of a shitty person? The guy selling dime bags to feed his family, or the guy who was sitting 3 spots away from Hitler ordering, killings? Like, that's what he was doing with his 9 to 5. Well, yeah, that group. Take them to the showers. That's what they would do. They literally have people thinking they were going to go take a shower, and then they'll put them in the little chamber and then they'll gas them to death. That shit is crazy. We brought some of those people over here and just completely let go of the fact that they did that shit. All because we wanted to go to space. It's crazy. So, now that some of the other stuff that I was working on is kind of past, I'm diving back into Operation Paperclip. We're going to get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to try to find a way to understand why it seems to me that some of this moon landing shit is kind of fake. Now, there are people who have come, there's guys who have written books about how they know that it's fake. I've seen a video where some writer tried to run up on Buzz Aldrin and call him out for the shit being fake, and then Buzz stole off on him. You can find all that type of shit on YouTube. And some of this stuff, man, it probably is just conspiracies. We only know so much. We're not in the room when decisions are being made. Like, I'm not there for those conversations, so who knows what's real and what isn't. But I will say some of this shit is absolutely crazy. So it's worth looking into. It's worth talking about. I think some of it is a lot of it for me is going to be comedy. Because I do not want to create a situation where, like, the government comes looking for me because I uncover too much. Now, I'm just kidding. That's not likely to happen. I'm too lazy and too dumb for all that type of shit. But you never know. So, stay tuned for more information on Operation Paperclip. Like I said, if you're looking to get any information about this stuff, Annie Jacobson is the person, I guess, who started all the uncovering of this. I mean, I don't know if she started. I feel bad saying that because there might be other people who started it, but it seems like Annie is kind of like, she's the person for this. So, yeah, and you should watch this Joe Rogan episode, the Joe Rogan Experience. It's number 1299, 1299. It's a 2.5 hour episode. And it looks like this was done about 6 months ago. So she's still talking about this fairly recently. And that's probably around the time when I watched it. It's probably about a month or 2 ago at this point. So the information that I got from there was fairly recent. So It's very, when you watch that interview, you'll hear her talk about a gentleman that she went to interview who is the son of one of these high-ranking Nazi guys. And the guy gave her, this is crazy. So you're talking about original documentation, handwritten notes from the days when he was with Hitler and they were doing dirt. The guy that she's interviewing, this guy's son, literally just gave her all of these journals to have. And you're talking about like stuff that can really incriminate people and like all that type of stuff. Like, and she says in the interview that all she had taken with her when she went over there was like her carry-on. And she says she literally basically tossed away all of her clothes and put all of the documentation, the books, the memoirs, all that stuff in her suitcase. Now, I guess where she was at, they have rules and laws. Like you can go to jail for having any type of Nazi paraphernalia and all that type of stuff. They're fully banned swastikas. Like if you get caught flying that shit, you're like in big trouble, which is something we should probably do over here for that bullshit ass Confederate flag. But they do that over there with the swastika and all that type of stuff. So she even mentions that there was a part of her that was kind of nervous that if she would have gotten searched, that they would have confiscated everything and she could have went to jail. Because like I said, you're not supposed to have anything that has Nazi shit on it. Like they're that serious about it. But it's crazy to think that the people she's talking to are that close to this part of history. She's talking to the son of the guy who literally was a couple of seats down from Hitler, bro. That's crazy to think of. And the U.S. just brought this dude over here just to live his life and just be chill and get to do whatever he wanted in exchange for him, you know, working for some medical team or doing something with space and all that. Like, just crazy to think that we really just had people doing that. Insane. So stay tuned for more Operation Paperclip stuff. I'm gonna try to, you know, get my information up and have more notes on this because I want to keep diving into this. Maybe not every single episode, but maybe every other episode. And shout out to Annie Jacobson for piquing my interest, man. It was interesting to hear her talk because listening to Joe Rogan show sometimes is like almost like watching documentaries to some degree, because sometimes he has people on there who are really talking about stuff that matters, and they're in it. They know people who are fully involved in it, and you're really getting a sense of where things were in certain parts of world history. And I'm somebody who I was always intrigued by history as a kid, so I think it's pretty interesting because some of it is still like, well, what's real and what's not real? Because you don't know since you weren't there, but it's still pretty cool to hear. So shout out to Annie. But we're going to take one last break. We're going to dive into this music, and then I'm going to come back and close out the show. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Me and Cole Jackson Show. I love y'all. We're on Track Talk Radio every Tuesday and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Man, tune in. Happy Turkey Day, or Steal Stuff from Natives Day, or if you must, Thanksgiving Day. So, hope you've been giving thanks to all your friends and family. Hope you guys have not killed anybody doing Black Friday shopping. Stay your ass out of trouble. Remember, fam, it's not worth it just for material things because you can't take any of that shit with you when you leave. So, let's jump into this music and we'll be right back. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. When I go to breaks, I'm just going to make a random ass noise. Just throws people off. People are like, what was that noise you just made? I don't know, man. I'm in the moment. Whatever I'm feeling, I just feel it and I say it. If it happens to be a random noise or some gibberish, it is what it is, man. I'm living my best life. Leave me alone. Man, it's been an easy, chill night. Like I said, my apologies. This one is probably a little bit boring because we didn't have a whole lot prepared for the show. It's a holiday week. It's a short week for everybody. You know, no work, lots of food, lots of stuff that we don't normally do on normal weeks. So kind of had things thrown off a little bit, but it has been fun, man. It's about 8:50 now. So they're on one little short break. I'm going to let this song play, and then I'm going to give some closing remarks, and then it's gonna be done, bro. That's it. And then we're done at 9 because it's almost time for me to go to bed. And that's real shit, man. I might actually be going to bed soon. Just because why wouldn't I? There's nothing else for me to do. At this point, I've made the most of my day, and I'm ready to call it. As crazy as that sounds, I'm actually that guy. At this point in life, I'm the guy who's literally going to bed at like 8 p.m. at night, and I love it. I'm watching this super funny ass video. It's old school. This is a classic. Hold up. Gotta give my man props on a classic video. Sorry for the dead air. Deal with it. It is what it is, man. But it has been a good day. I appreciate you all tuning in. Yeah, man, we might not even record this last little bit because, like I said, I'm really going to just get on and I'm going to close out the show and I'm going to turn the music back on. So I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I'm going to be back with y'all on Tuesday. So sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy your evening. Don't get killed doing Black Friday shopping. I hope by the time I come on the air the next time, I hope I'm not having to report on any incidents. But I have a feeling that on Tuesday's show, we will be talking about Black Friday incidents. Oh my gosh, reports are in. Jason Garrett will finish the season as the coach. Wow, bro, just fire this dude. He lost to the Buffalo Bills today. He's trizash. Man, what a bum. I would have let him go. If we being for real, I would have let him go, honestly. You know what? Sit tight. We're not going to go anywhere just yet. I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to turn the music back on. All right, man. You know what I figured? We only got a handful of minutes left, and I got some songs that I really wanted to let play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into this music. So we're going to close out the show now, man. We're leaving a little bit early because, look, man, it's the holiday. And I still got a couple things I got to do before I finish out my night. So I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Sorry about if this show was a little bit boring than some of the other ones have been. But like I said, it's been a short week. We're on, holiday time. So everybody's lagging a little bit and we're all doing things out of our routines. And it is what it is. So I appreciate y'all tuning in on this fine Thursday evening. Look, if y'all are listening to this, remember, do not get in a scuffle at Walmart over a 60-inch TV that you probably don't need. It's all material stuff. So before you get angry with strangers, take a deep breath and remember, there is more to life than stressing over a damn TV or an Xbox or some shit that you probably don't need. So I hope y'all have a good evening. I hope you have enjoyed your Thanksgiving. And I hope that I catch you guys back on Tuesday, man. We're going to be lit. If you didn't get a chance to listen to the entire live show, don't worry. The video will be up shortly. The video is going to be pretty funny. You're just going to be looking at me, looking hella dusty with my headband on. And shout out to my boy Leon Walker and his Yoga Leroy apparel. Man, check in with him. Go to my Facebook, follow my man Leon Walker. If you want one of these hoodies that I got on, this Yoga Leroy hoodie, if you want one of these, you need to hit my man up. This shit is hot, man. I get a lot of compliments on this hoodie. A lot of people ask me about this. So, again, shout out to him. Leon, sorry you're getting your shout out in the last 5 minutes of the show, but it is what it is, man. But, hey, Big ups to all my people who are out there chasing their dreams and just doing their thing. My man is one of them. He's a hella funny comedian, so follow him. If you're out in LA and you're at some of the local clubs, man, go check him out, man. He's doing stand up. He has a podcast too. I wonder if he's still doing like his TV shows and like actual acting. I know he was doing that for mad long. My man can do it all, so shout out to him, man. But yeah, this is it. I'm gonna see y'all on Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm your host, Murked Jackson. This is the Murked Jackson Show, and I will see y'all on Tuesday. I'm out. There you have it. We out.